22nd century, give or take.
Is this thing on? Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for your support tonight. We expected to win Titan, we really did, but we never took it for granted. We worked hard and it paid off. We picked up what? Another 10,000 delegates? Let's see them broker a convention now. And another thing.
What's my role in Felcorp hierarchy, you ask? To the extent Verden Fell has a business partner, I'm that. To the extent he has a mistress, I'm that too. And I suppose I would be his closest approximation to a conscience if he ever listened to me. What I mainly am at this moment is really glad that this life support helmet has a mute button. I can always check in when I please by blinking, like this.
Sorry I couldn't join you in the dome for the party. I am speaking to you live from the shores of Ligeia Mare, the second biggest sea on Titan, where I have come to say goodbye to the best wife and business partner a guy ever had, a woman who shared her name with the sea. I know you'll join me now in a moment of silence for that great gal who would really have savored our victory tonight, the late, great Ligeia Fell.
I do not doubt that my predecessor, Ligeia, really loved Verden Fell, that the emotion factor somehow factored into the calculations. She liked to quote a smart woman of an earlier age. No one marries just because a spouse is rich, but my goodness, doesn't it help?
Thank you for that. Now, as I was saying,
We came to Titan for a primary, of course. Running for president of the Saturnian system takes a long time. With 53 named natural satellites and another 48 artificial ones, there's always a primary somewhere. But we mainly came to Titan for the funeral.
the latest lies are all about what a bad businessman I am. That all those startups of mine supposedly have failed. I just don't know what they're talking.
It was a small funeral. Only the great Verden fell. And me, Rowena Trevanian, the new vice chair of Felcorp, plus the excavation team. It was also the most expensive funeral in the history of the solar system.
Opponents, they want you to believe that Fel Air is out of gas? Really? Take a deep breath, haters. We set sales record the past 15 quarters, and why? It's no mystery. We vacuum seal only the finest, purest nitrogen-oxygen mix. 78 over 21 and change. Do the analysis yourself, folks. And we ship to your preferred airlock within one rotation, or you don't pay a cent. What part of that is hard to understand? Let's face it, you gotta trust the people. The people know what they want to breathe. It's their lungs. It's not the government's. And yet, my opponents claim that Fel Air is sucking wind. So I don't.
Built on Earth, the tomb would have been merely ruinously expensive. Fel chose to build it on the surface of Titan, at a cost that would have bankrupted most planets.
The debate last week. Remember what that woman candidate from Daphne said? She actually said that Fel University is on the verge of closing its doors. Really? We had 50,000 FU graduates this past May. Biggest graduating class ever. And that's just not FU. That's the biggest university in the history of humankind. Harvard, Göttingen, Alexandria, forget it. FU, baby. And shall we talk salaries? Highest paid adjuncts in the system, and for good reason. They're all adjuncts. They run the place, very efficient. So I say, go FU, rah, rah.
The tomb is an egotistical monstrosity, of course. We are talking about a Felcorp project after all. But Ligeia was something of a Gothic monstrosity herself. Tall, raven-haired woman of fathomless dark eyes and icy beauty. Ligeia liked to recite Poe from memory. This was understandable, I suppose, with a name like hers, but dying young from consumption? That struck many as overkill.
Don't buy things to fail, you know. I buy something, I buy it for keeps. I run it so that it turns a profit. That's why, let's face it, every major Saturnian satellite I own. Iapetus, I own it, free and clear, not one solar dollar in debt. Tethys, I own it, free and clear, not one solar dollar in debt. Enceladus, I own it.
If you don't like her ugly tune, well, stick around for a century. It started sinking into the ice surface started saying lines. It started sinking into the icy surface of the moon before the topmost gargoyle was even in place.
Titan, Mimas, Rhea, I own wonderful properties there, wonderful resorts, casinos, hotels, cloud cities, space elevators, thousands of employees. They know what a good businessman I am, how fair. Good wages for honest work. They know me, and let me tell you, it's a fact. Write this down. When Mimas and Rhea primaries are held, I will win those satellites because I know their people. And their people know me. That's why I won so far. That's why I won Titan tonight. And because...
Then we learned that the whole edifice wasn't even a proper tomb. Just a massive decorative headstone for the crypt in front, for which another gaping hole needed to be burned into acres of dirty ice between the tomb of Ligeia and the shores of the Methane Sea.
Sure. My opponents, they've picked up a moonlet here and there, a ring shepherd or a co-orbital. That's what Janus is, isn't it, right? A co-orbital? Or that other one, what's his face? I always forget. I have scientists to tell me these things. My point is, I can't win them all. But the moons with the biggest populations, the most delegates, they're in the bag.
Come in, Mr. Fell, come in. This is Dr. Tremaine from the dig. Are you receiving?
Yo, Rowena, egghead duty. Deal with her, huh? I'm closing the deal.
Dr. Tremaine, hello? It's Lady Rowena. Go ahead.
Trouble, milady. I'm headed upslope to your position.
Oh, yes, I can see you. I can see you down there. Be careful.
I mean, it's over, folks. When I've won them all, when I'm the next president of the Saturnian system, we will have real borders again. We will have a wall between us and Jupiter. And the Jovians will pay for it. Make no mistake about that. So, good night. God bless you. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Whew, enough of that for one night. Oh, Rowena, honey. Did I forget to thank you again? Oh well, that's okay. There's other moons.
Watch your step, Dr. Tremaine. Here, let me help you.
Oh, thank you. Walking this ice surface is a real bitch. Oh, beg your pardon, Mr. Fell.
Now see, that's our double standard for you. If I said bitch in a debate, not even in reference to a certain opponent or a certain bimbo interviewer, the net natives would climb right up my ass and set up base camp. But you gals, you can say whatever you want. Unfair to men again.
Dr. Tremaine, what's happened? What's wrong?
Mr. Fell, I don't know how to tell you this, but we must stop this excavation immediately.
Stop it. What are you talking about, silly woman?
Well, not stop it exactly, but we need to get a crew from Sol system in here first. This is not a building site anymore. This is a heritage site.
Oh, what?
What do you mean, Dr. Tremaine? Whose heritage?
Hers.
Oh my goddess!
What is this crap? Leftovers from lunch? Oh my God. Next thing you'll tell me we can't build the crypt.
Mr. Fell, remember what you told us when you selected this site about how perfect it is for a memorial?
That's right, the highest point on the shore, facing the polar sea, the ringed planet above, so what?
Well, someone else had the same idea and beat you to it. Mr. Fell, The crypt site is thick with bones.
Did you record the location of these, Dr. Tremaine, before you disturbed them? That's basic field work.
What's the point? Just for this bag full, there are thousands of them. Hundreds of thousands. Every ice block is spiky with them, like a Rice Krispie square.
Control yourself, Tremaine. Rice Krispie squares aren't spiky. You're thinking of chow mein cookies. Did your mother teach you anything?
An alien ossuary. It's fantastic, Dr. Tremaine. Yours is the find of the century, of the millennium.
Find of the century, my hairpiece. A royal pain in the tuchus, that's what it is. Are you telling me we're going to have to photograph and catalog all this before construction can continue? Right, that'll delay us for months. I know. We'll dump it all in the lake. That'll get rid of it.
Are you insane? What about science?
Science, schmience. It's probably a hoax, just like that climate change back on Earth.
Climate change is a hoax. Right. And how many times has the District of Columbia moved inland? Where was it seen last? Just outside Charlottesville?
You're talking politics. I'm talking destiny. You should know by now, Rowena, what happens when someone gets in my way. Someone gets broken. That's what. Someone winds up. This is a hand. This is a human female hand. Its shape, its texture, its smell, its exotic, seductive. I know this bone. I know whose bone it is.
Mere puppets they, who come and go at bidding of vast formless things that shift the scenery to and fro, flapping from out their condor wings. Invisible. Whoa.
That voice, those lines, it cannot be. I know that voice.
And much of madness, and more of sin, and horror the soul of both.
That pointing finger, that look, I know them all. But you can't be here, not now. Not to sabotage your own tomb. Not in my moment of victory.
But see, amid the mimic rout, a crawling thing intrude, a blood-red thing that writhes from out the scenic solitude.
Whoever you are, you possess both of them. You're both the same. You're both against me. No, don't the cliff edge, oh my God. You're trying to murder me. What have I ever done to you? Really? What's wrong with your eyes? Get a grip, Phil. Relax. It's only an eyeball. Oh. There's someone in there looking out at me.
You know who I am.
Here then at last. Can I never be mistaken? Those are the full and the black and the wild eyes of my lost love. Of the lady, Ligeia!
Remarkable. Nary a ripple.
The liquid methane just slid into place above him like a sheet of glass. It's uncanny to look at, that utterly flat sea.
I keep looking for the feature the Cassini team called the Magic Island, the one that came and went.
Wave action, probably. Sometimes the wind picks up. I'm still surprised he fell for it. I'm surprised he fell for
The
it.
nonsense about the bones, you mean? I'm not. Not me. People as angry as Verden fell, as defensive as Verden fell, they're always haunted by something. And when their ghosts finally show up, The Verden fells of the world are glad to meet them halfway. Every time. And come on, we have a Fell Corp shuttle to catch.
The crew will file a missing person report tomorrow.
With luck, we'll be deep in the Danish rainforest before the lawyers even have their first conference call. And the angels all pallid and wan, uprising, unveiling, affirm that the play is the tragedy, man, and its hero, the conquering worm.